I think that South Africans now more than ever need to be conscious of those who would try to perpetuate and to drive a narrative that we are a hateful nation. I think now more than ever we need to be aware that there are those forces that would try to paint South Africans as xenophobic, as hateful, as anti-African, even though we are Black African, we're Indian African, colored African, white African. But there would be this narrative, this blanket, simplistic narrative, false narrative, that we are a people who hate our Africanness. And maybe we need to start questioning as to what is the intention and who perpetuates this narrative that the fight for South Africa to have borders that are functional, crime that is low, hospitals that are able to provide good quality healthcare, education facilities, schools that are able to take all the children in and give them a good quality education. When people are fighting, and especially the poor, when they are fighting for the scarce resources that have been made available by the state because they cannot afford, when they're fighting just so that they don't have to spend 12 hours or 8 hours in a queue because the hospitals are overcrowded, when they're fighting for just needing a sense of employment opportunity, because that's what the fight is about, the socio-economic quality of life amongst those that are particularly vulnerable in our society. And when those that are particularly vulnerable are just fighting for the government to see them, just to see them, then you have a narrative that is perpetuated about how South Africans are full of hate. And maybe now more than ever, South Africans need to be very careful of forces that would try to drive a narrative that this country has got hateful people, because it does not. Perhaps what this country needs is decisive leadership that looks after South Africa first, whose hand does not have to be forced or coerced into acting against the preservation and the protection of the people who belong to this republic. Maybe that's what we need. A leadership who will say, I raise my hand to actually put the needs of the state first and its people. And anybody who drives an alternative narrative, we really need to clear review of them. So I commend those who protested, exercised their constitutional right to protest, but did so peacefully. And I hope those who wanted to infiltrate criminal elements are arrested, brought to book, and spend a lifetime in prison, because this country's got no space for criminals. No space. But I tell you, this country is a beautiful country, and anybody who tells you that South Africans are full of hate is wrong.